Okay, we're going to continue on with the lecture from yesterday on preparing slides and using PowerPoint. Okay, we'll go to our last slide, which is number 5, which was our Highline Bridge. That's one we left off on. We are going to go to our Home tab, add a new slide. And on this one, we are going to choose the layout of title only. And you'll notice that there's a text box and then a blank slot underneath it. This gives you a lot of freedom to insert what you want to do. We're going to double tap to add a title to it. And this one is going to be called My Schedule. And to stay with the theme that I've been using, I did the all caps. And I like to have mine centered, so I'm just going to stick with that. Okay, we're going to add a table, and we've used tables before, so we're not going to spend a whole lot of time formatting tables, but just as a little review, we're going to go to the Insert tab. You'll notice that under here it says Table, so we're going to insert a table. And you can see a table shows up. We can change the style, shading, all the things that we've done before. We're going to actually select those last 3 cells and we're going to delete those. We only want two columns in our table. Okay, so on the top we're going to type the word period. There we go. And class. Remember, if you are on your keyboard, you can just hit tab and you're going to jump from spot to spot. So you're going to type in your schedule that you go through during the day. So my first class is accounting. Period 2, I have spreadsheets. Period 3, remember when you get to the end, if you continue to tab, it's going to add some rows. I have study hall. Period 4, I have spreadsheets again. Period 5, and so forth. I'll give you a couple seconds to type yours in. Okay, again, once you are done with that, again, if you didn't quite keep up, you can pause the video for right now. I'm going to go through and select my table. I want everything to be centered, so I'm just going to center everything. I might want to make it a little bit smaller. I can resize it, make it a little bit bigger. I'm just going to put it so that it is underneath the words My Schedule. And so again, you have that option of putting a table in there. And again, we're not going to spend a whole lot of time formatting it because we've already covered that in Microsoft Word. Okay, moving on, we'll add a next slide. And this one, we're going to do a picture with caption. We'll take a look at that layout. Picture with caption. It's in the lower right-hand corner. And you'll notice with this one, over on this right side, it says a picture placeholder instead of a text box. So we're going to select that picture placeholder. Just select it so the handles are showing. We're going to go to Insert, Photos, and we're going to get the one that we downloaded that was Washington Elementary. And for right now, we'll ignore the design ideas. And you can see that now that replaced the holder that you had there, and it made the size of the picture placeholder. So that works pretty well if you want to add a picture to it. Instead of just deleting a text box and putting it in there, you could use this slide. Okay, double tap. This is Washington Elementary. And double tap to add the text there. And we will type in Valley City, grades 4 through 6. And again, I could go through and resize and make some changes there too. Okay, so that's just an example of the picture with a caption. Another one, we're going to add a new slide. The layout is going to be blank this time, and you'll see that you just get a blank slide, so you can insert anything you want. We're going to insert some text, and I'm just going to review the styles that go along with it. So in our home button, over here, we have the shapes. You also have it in your insert tab, the shapes. So if I choose shapes and I choose that first one, that is the text box. And we're going to type in, let's type in Merry Christmas. Okay, once you type that in, select it, go to your home, and let's make it about 96. And you'll see it turns out kind of odd shaped, but if you resize your text box, it'll come back normal. I'm going to also center, just like that. Okay, what I was talking about before is, okay, you've created your own text box. I want you just to remind you of this option right behind my pointer here. It is your word art style. So remember, you can add word art styles to it to make it look really good there. And again, we could even go up to, let's bump this up to 150 and just resize the box, and you'll see that you can put in some word art with some different styles. We're also going to add, let's add a star to it. Can you find the star down here? We'll click on the star, move it over here. I'm going to keep it the blue color, but I want it a little bit different color blue, so I'm going to make it a little bit darker and put it right there. So again, we have a blank slide that we added a text box. We added some style to our text, and we added a shape. Slide number 9, I'm just going to show you on this one. It might be a little bit more challenging to come up with some information, but we're going to use the layout and the comparison. It looks like the to content one, but we can double tap, hit the title, and I'm going to put my favorite shows. My favorites is always easy to do because they're easy to remember. And I should have made it like the rest of it, which I was all caps, so I'm going to change that. And I'm just going to go through, and again, I'm going to center that. Okay, this is a comparison slide, so what I could do is double tap to add text, and I could put, I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but I might want to put, I watch Netflix and I watch Amazon Prime. And I could list my shows that I watch on each one. For example, with Netflix, let's see, I've watched Flash, Heartland, and so forth. Amazon Prime, I've watched Chicago Med, all the Chicagos. And so anyway, you can see how it is 2 different tables, 2 different slots, but it's used basically for comparison. It sets it up nice and neat for you with the comparison. All right, we're going to add one more slide, a new slide. The layout is going to be title and content. So we're going to use title and content, and we're going to put my favorite links. On this one, after I center it here, we're going to put a couple of links that you could use. Maybe you have a PowerPoint, and during the PowerPoint you want to go to a website, and so we're going to go through and link that on there. So the first one we're going to do is we're going to type in Valley City Public Schools. Oops, forget to shut that off. We could also type in a certain YouTube video if we wanted and so forth. I'm just going to put Highliner News for December. I think we did one on December 3rd. Okay, so with this in mind, if you're not sure where the website is, what I would do is you're going to go to the school website. You're going to go to a website. The school website, you can see up on the top, it says https highliners.org. So what I like to do instead of worrying about trying to type it in correctly, I'm going to select that whole website that's up there and push copy. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. I'm going to select Valley City Public Schools. Then I'm going to click on the little tab up here that says Insert. And what I'm going to insert is a link. So I'm going to click on link. And you can see now the address, it is blinking. So I'm going to click in there and I'm going to hit paste. And now you can see that the website has been pasted in there. And I don't have to worry about to make sure that I have the slashes in the right spots, the colon, and so forth. So I'm going to click done. Okay, you can see it's hyperlinked because it is blue and underlined. In a few seconds, we're going to try it out. The next one we're going to do is the Highliner News one. So what I'm going to do is go back to the school, back to the internet. I'm going to put YouTube because that's where it's at. And I'm going to search for Highliner News. For December 3rd, I think I had it. Okay. And you can see some of the episodes right here. Highliner News, I'm just going to go Highliner News. The most current one, it was on the 2nd. So I'm going to click on this one. Here is the news. I'm going to go up to the title up here. You can see that that would be a lot to remember. So instead, I'm going to click on there. I'm going to copy. Okay, I'm going to close this out. I'm going to go back to my PowerPoint. I'm going to select the words. I'm not going to just paste the URL in there because if I were to go through here and paste in the URL, it's kind of confusing what that URL is all about. So instead, I'm going to just type in the words that's going to explain where that is going to. And I'm going to click on the word link here. In the address, I'm going to paste. And there is the URL for Highliner News on December, it was the 2nd, right? So I'm going to change that back to 2nd. All right. So now we're going to test those links out. You cannot just test them out right when you are designing it because that would be kind of a hassle if I'm trying to change the word of Highliner News and I'm double clicking on there and it keeps going to my web page. So instead, what we're going to do is play your presentation. To play the presentation, it is the button. It's the play button right up here. So we're going to click play. And you can see how this is how it would show up if you are presenting it to a crowd in a video. Okay, so I'm going to click on Valley City Public Schools. And it should take me to Valley City Public Schools. Okay, so that is an active link. Up in this corner here, you can see how you can go back to PowerPoint. Now I'm going to click on Highliner News for December 2nd, and it should take me to the correct page. And then I'm going to go back to...
Welcome to another edition of Highliner News.
And obviously, I have to...
After celebrating Thanksgiving last
shut down
weekend,
the
it is
internet.
time to test you on some Thanksgiving trivia.
Okay, go back to your PowerPoint. And then I'm just going to go back into my slides. Okay, so that's how you'd set up your links. All right, next we're going to take a look at changing what our slides look like. And you've seen some things pop up as we've gone through here, which makes your slides look a little bit more fun. Okay, so we're going to click on the one that says Highline Bridge. Okay, on this one, we're going to choose the tab up on the top that says design. We're going to work with some of the designs. Okay, and the design that we're going to start with, we're going to start from over here where it says design ideas. So click on that, and we've seen that pop up every once in a while when we make some slides. So you can choose a different type of slide. So if I take the second one, it's going to set up a really nice and neat slide for me, a different look to it. So you can try a couple of those, find one you like. I kind of like that one, so I'm going to leave it like that one. And you'll see that it's only affecting that one slide that you have there. Okay, so just pop through them. Every one of your slides has that option. Okay, let's select slide 6. On this one, I want to show you a different option. Do you see where it says format background? So I can click on the background here and I can pick. My table is blue, and what I want to do is have a light blue background. So this, if you look at it, it's only changing the background of this one slide. And so I could choose a different color if I wanted a little bit different color and so forth. So that's going to change just the background of that slide. Okay, you also have the option of changing the theme. And this is where it gets a little messy too sometimes. But we're going to take a look at the theme. Say that you want a different theme to it. I'm just going to pick this third one here. And you can see how when you pick themes, it's going to change your entire slideshow. You'll notice that this gets to look a little different. Okay, we had a different design on there. This looks a little different. Okay, it still has a gray background, but it added a new twist to it. So you can go through, you can choose, try a couple of different themes, see what it looks like with all of your slides. Just click on some of your slides, see what it looks like. It's going to change a lot of different things. A lot of times when you create a PowerPoint, you're going to pick the theme first, and then you'll start creating the slides. And you can see why it doesn't make as much of a mess. So go through, try a couple of these themes. Okay. See what you like. See if you find any that you like that really fit well. You might have to go through and move stuff around. This one's a little hard to see. Okay. You can also put it back to the white ones, and if you want to just go through and change your design ideas, you can do that also. So play around with it a little bit. When you are done, you will submit this under PowerPoint lecture number 2.